You see me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm just pulling this up in the group so that I can see it. I can't see the comments on my phone, so. Well, I guess kind of there I am. All right. So, last week we talked about how to fit your audience on your value ladder with your content, like taking them from cold to warm. We made a pathway/framework there for your organic strategy. And so now you're going to learn where all those pieces fit into place with your high ticket offer. And before you argue with me, yes, it's going to be a high ticket offer, and here's why. Because it gives you time to focus only on one person, one client, one sale per month or per 90 days or per however long. You're basically buying margin that buys you time to get your shit together, basically. So when you're only focusing on one, you can operate with more integrity because you're not trying to balance 45 different people and just doing a shitty job of it, because when you've got one person to focus on, you're able to over-deliver. It's going to validate your roadmap, and I know you don't know what a roadmap is yet, but you're about to find out. It's going to help you reach your goals faster because, duh. Credibility. It brings a lot of credibility because anybody, or are you going to pick somebody who says that their product or their service is $2,500, or are you going to put more weight on somebody who frequently sells their products for $25,000 or $100,000? Obviously, the person who charges more is going to get more attention because it's going to have a higher perceived value. Even if they're selling the same thing, people are going to migrate to that higher ticket person if they've got the money. And guess what? People have the money. So, when you learn that time is currency, that's what you're basically selling. Poor people spend time. Rich people buy time. So we want to get you in a position where you are selling time to rich people, because that in turn is going to make you rich. They will pay for anything that gives them more time. They will pay big money. So the very last reason is because you can start now. All right, so I don't know if you've probably seen a value ladder before. You've probably never seen it this way. All right, your offer is your roadmap, your resources, and a syllabus. Okay, so the value ladder is going to help you determine where your stuff sits on this. And actually, I'm going to get a marker here, okay? Because everybody's being taught to start down here, down at the low end. This is your lead magnet. This is your tripwire. This is your core product. This is your upsell. This is your high ticket. Everybody starts at the bottom. They're pushing this lead magnet, and they're trying to get people into that tripwire so that they can sell them the core product, and then they can try to get them. It's backwards. We are flipping that value ladder, okay? We're selling the high ticket first. You're going to go after the high ticket people first. And the reason why is because you need money now. You need a lot of money now, or you're not going to get your business off the ground. And you only have to find one. Okay? Can you imagine trying to start out your business and you're trying to find 10,000 people to pay you $49? That's why it don't work. That's why people fail every single day. Because they're not charging enough that they can keep their business running while they figure things out. Okay? So, you sell that high ticket in a different way that you sell this. This is your lead magnet, your tripwire. Lead magnets go to suspects. Tripwires go to prospects. Okay? Until they paid you money, they're not a they're not a customer. And even when they pay you money, if it's a low value, they're still just a prospect, because that doesn't mean that just because they paid you $49 that they can afford any of your other stuff. Okay? So that's who you're going to send your nurture content to. And that's fine. That's the way everybody else does it. You can, you know, run ads or whatever you want to do to get your nurture content out there. But you want to spend the biggest amount of your time working on this high ticket. There's only 3 ways that you can get a high ticket client. That's build a relationship with them, get a referral, have somebody that you know who knows that person refer you, or direct outreach, which, by the way, it sucks, but it does work. It's a numbers game. You may have to call 100 places. You may have to call 1,000. But when you do get that one client, you're getting $20,000 versus working just as hard to get somebody to buy your $49 tripwire. But you don't just need one person to buy that. You need a lot of people to buy that. Okay? So let me talk about the way it's designed. All right? If lead magnet's free, and we talked about that last week, the only thing that you give away for free is the what and the why, okay? Because then when you get up into the hows, then that's when money comes into play. People are saying, how do you do that? And you say, oh, okay, I'll tell you, but you're going to pay me this much money. This is your small courses. This is, you can sell SOPs, you can sell all kinds of different stuff. But I would keep those tripwire offers pretty low, because this is going to be your meat and potatoes right here. This is what's going to fuel your business long term. So you need to make this as good as possible, okay? So these people are starting out with the lead magnet and they're going up. High ticket people are coming down. So, and what I mean by that is when you have a high ticket person on the phone and you tell them it's $20,000 for your service, and they say, I'm not so sure about that, and they don't really know 100% whether they want to pay you yet, you can offer them, you can walk the offer back. Instead of discounting your price, what you would do at that point is start taking things out of it. So you're not going to give them everything that you would have gave them for the $20K, but you could probably give them about half of that and sell it for $3 to $8K. All right? So, and they would be in a group with one to many, of course. So, or you could walk it down from high ticket to the core product and say, okay, well, try it out, see if you can get it to work for you, and, you know, at this price, and if you can't, then we can walk you back up, okay? And most of the time they do, but they're really just looking for proof of concept. But that's where your meat and potatoes are going to come from. These are going to be, like I said, you may spend a month or 2 months or 3 months trying to get that $20,000 client, but it's worth it because that buys you another 1 to 3 months in order to put all of your other stuff in place. And that's why I tell everybody, flip your value ladder. Stop trying to get 10,000 small people. Get one big one, because you're going to work to sell this freebie just as hard as you will to sell your $20,000 product. It all depends on your targeting, which we took care of in your content last week. So you already know how to target somebody that's got that money. Okay? So, I know I talk too fast. The first thing that you're going to want to do is you have to create a pathway. Hold on a second. Those are wrong, and I don't know why. Nope, hold on. Nope, just keep it. Nope, maybe I'm wrong. Okay, so excuse me. I'm talking to my teleprompter, aka my mother, who's helping out, and I also have my cameraman, my niece Jennifer. So shout out to them. Anyway, so what you're going to do is you're going to create a roadmap, and remember, this roadmap plus resources in your syllabus, this is going to be your offer. This is your high ticket offer that we're going to create, okay? So what you need to do is find the steps to get them from start to finish. They need to go from like 0 to hero or 0 to rich or whatever result is that they want. Now I'm going to show you, this is an example of my roadmap, okay? And it's going to look different for your business, but I just wanted you to see an example of how this gets set up. Now there's 6 steps on mine. Now remember how I talk about a 5-step framework? Well, only these 5 go into that framework. This here, if you recall, this is audience, and that I give away free. Okay, that's the free content that I put in the groups and stuff like that. Now, this content, that's the next one. That's the tripwire offer. So you're probably putting it together in your head right now how all of this creates the value ladder. You start, step 1 would be the audience, then it's going to be the content, and then you're going to need a roadmap, you're going to need an offer. This is an invite, which is because an S just didn't fit there, but it means to sell. You got to be able to sell. So in my world, it means just to invite them to take advantage of your offer. Anyway, then launch, okay? So does that look familiar to you? That's the framework that we're going over in this course. This here is what you're learning, okay? And you know that, because you know me, you know that, camera person, I gotta go back over here a second. You know that now, this is going to be the whole framework, okay? You know what you and I are creating right now is going to sit about right here on my framework, okay? Because this is going to go out one to many, all right? And then after that, it's going to be one to mass market. This is where I'll probably take all these videos and things like that, and I'm going to create a course that they can do on their own. It doesn't take any of my time or anything. It's just going to be there, and that's going to be the core product. So now you can see how it all fits together to create the value ladder. You're creating one product, just one. And depending on what you're going to try to create, you're going to take away from it and you're going to add to it. And I'm going to teach you how. So the first thing is that you need to write down what your steps are, okay? How are people going to get from point A to point B? All right, what do they need? Now, Carrie, I know that you're doing copywriting, so I guess for you it would be like, you know, what do you need to know about copywriting first? Or, you know, what do you got to do next to be able to, if you're teaching copywriting, then what do you need to know to be able to teach the copywriting or to do the copywriting? I don't know exactly how you've got that structured, okay? But you know, you will do the same thing I did here. What you're going to do is you're going to take each one of these that are going to be on your thing, and you're just going to make bullet points. Okay, so audience. What are my bullet points for the audience? That was conversation, content. I don't even remember, but remember we had 5 videos that are over there in the strategy lab. Then when we was doing content, we was trying to figure out where they are, awareness, interest, the strategy, optimization. So basically that's what you want to do, is create the bullet points of how to break each of these down, because you can pull those apart and sell those separately. Or that's where you decide how much you're going to put into your value ladder and at what price point. So basically that is your methodology, and that's what's going to get you paid, because this is the system that you sell. You're selling your system, and it's your system, so you can do anything you want with it. You can add to it, you can take away, you can create different products out of it. But the last thing that you want to do is get the result, okay? So you're going to go through, you're going to have what they need to prepare, and I put getting the audience as preparing. And the reason why I did that is because audience is like just the most basic step, and people teach it all the time. It's something commonly taught, so I don't want to like just keep repeating shit, and I don't want to charge people for something that, you know, they could literally get anywhere else and learn. So I don't want to charge for information like that. But then on the content strategies, you know, and teaching you guys how to build a roadmap and an offer, how to sell the offer, and then how to launch it, that's worth money, okay? So I can pull any of these out as long as I can get the result. All right. So basically, your roadmap is a step-by-step process that includes content for each step, which can be in the form of little, courses or, however you want, as long as it delivers the result, okay? So define the steps that get to the result, bullet point them, and then just arrange them in like logical order, like what's next, what's next, what's next, okay? Wait on my teleprompter to change my thing over. Okay. So basically now you have your roadmap, and the next part on this, if you remember, was roadmap, resources, syllabus, okay? Tools and resources are going to get you far, and I am like burning up. I know you see me messing with my hair a lot. It's because I'm about to die. Anyway, if I fall over, they'll kick me out of the way, and hopefully one will carry on for me. Anyway, so tools. Let's talk about the tools, because in your step-by-step thing, you also need to include some kind of tools or resources that are going to help them along. All right. There is step-by-step tools, which is like guides, instruction sheets, things like that. There's done for you tools, which would be like email swipes, templates, tutorials. If you're using any kind of tech, like if you know they need to use Zoom, or they need to use, I don't know, Canva or something like that, then you can do tutorials that help them learn how to use different software or whatever. And then you can also use like things that save them time, which is like checklists and cheat sheets. I'm done with that one.
Did you do that one?
Yes. Okay.
I guess I did.
I didn't want to like have just like a stack of notes here and be weird, and so I wrote all my notes out on these, because we're trying this, because if my helpers are actually pretty good today, I might hire them full time. Okay, so basically what you've created is your high ticket offer, okay? That entire roadmap is what your high ticket offer is. So now what we're trying to do is package it, okay? You package it with the tools, with the resources, stuff like that. But there's another way that you can look at it when you're packaging things, okay? That's where, and I know I talked to you about this, Carrie, but I don't think that Amy and I covered it, okay? You have to know what you're doing, okay? If you are creating courses and things like that, yes, you're a teacher, but you're also going to be implementing like some coaching, okay? Coaches assess talent. They don't do the work, they assess the talent, okay? Consultants, they'll assess the current reality, report, and then a lot of times they'll prescribe what the solution is, but they don't do the work either, okay? A strategist creates the roadmap to the solution. A teacher teaches. You just teach the content. And then an implementer is who actually does the work. So that's 5 different things there that you can find a way to combine into the offer to be able to charge more for it. So if you can be a coach plus an implementer, and there's some of the stuff that you could do for them, you can charge more. If you're a consultant plus a strategist, you can charge more. If you can coach, consult, and implement, you can charge more. So you want to look at those 5 things and find out how many things that you can add into your program to be able to make it worth more money. So the very last thing that we need is a syllabus, okay? And the syllabus, number 1, it gives it a higher perceived value. Yes, that kind of sounds, weird, because you don't really hear syllabus outside of college, but you definitely need a syllabus. And the syllabus should go like this. It should tell you how to get help. Then it should give you a schedule and a calendar that basically says this is when class is, or this is what to expect, this is how long this lasts. A description, which is what, what this is, an objective, which gives the result of what this is, any prerequisites, like what do they need to know, have, do, or be first to be able to have success in this, any legal disclaimers, like refund policies, privacy policies, anything like that, and then any policies and procedures that you want to implement, like if you've got a certain way that you want to communicate, or a certain amount of participation, just different things like that. I think we might be done now. Was that it, or? Okay, I'm done with that one. I'm on that one. Awesome. We are about done. Okay, so the only other thing that I wanted to mention is resources to consider is creating a community, a Q&A library, or packaging it with any of your other products if you happen to have anything that would work well with this. Now, what we're going to talk about next week is we're going to make your offer irresistible and teach you how to sell it. So when you talk in terms of bonuses and things like that, that's all gonna be like next week. So for this week, your homework is going to be, surprise, surprise, I want you to build your roadmap. I want you to brainstorm any tools that you can offer with it. I want you to build out that offer and write your syllabus. That's 4 things for this week. That sounds like a lot, but honestly, it might just take you a couple hours. But because of what you're building and the importance of it, you're literally constructing your business. 2 hours is pretty good. I think that's pretty good use of your time. So, I'm going to go ahead and end with that.
If they got any questions.
And let me check, and I'm going to look, just make sure. Okay, we are good there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and end this, and because I gotta do other things too, and I got another appointment tonight. So, Thursday, I will be here Thursday at 6. You guys can post your homework and stuff whenever you get it completed, and then I will be back in on Thursday to talk about what you do post, give you feedback on that, and you guys can ask any questions that you need to ask. You go ahead and turn it off.